Our cruise to the Southern Caribbean on Royal Caribbean's newly amplified Freedom of the Seas offered stops in the lovely ABC Islands. We had not visited these islands since 2015 and couldn't wait to get back. Prior to our cruise, in Aruba we booked an off-roading adventure with the local tour company ABC Tours. I'm DB from EatSleepCruise.com, and in this video we show you why you should book an excursion with this highly rated company with our ABC Tours Aruba Island Ultimate Safari Review. The instructions provided by ABC Tours indicate that our meeting spot for this excursion would be the cruise terminal building. The instructions also indicate that our departure time would be 8:30 a.m. As soon as our ship was cleared, we made our way to the terminal building to check in with the tour provider. After only a few minutes, our group of cruisers was loaded on a bus and escorted to the nearby headquarters. Here, we were asked to make our lunch selections from the menu provided and divide up into our appropriate tours. We were the only two from this group that were escorted to the otherwise full Jeep waiting for us outside. It is here that we met our family, along with our tour guide, Uncle Johnny. Uncle Johnny was informative and loved playing paparazzi. He safely escorted us around the island and ensured that everyone was having a good time. It was evident that Uncle Johnny loved what he did. Aruba is located just 15 miles north of Venezuela, and it has the least rainfall of all the Caribbean islands, making the weather mostly sunny and dry year-round. However, the trade winds keep temperatures in an ideal zone and lend to beautiful, warm water beaches. This desert-like terrain allowed for one of the wildest off-road shore excursions we've ever had. Leaving the company's office, we headed to the northwest part of the island for our first official stop at the California Lighthouse shortly after 9 a.m. This lighthouse was built between 1914 and 1916, and it's named after the SS California. Since a renovation that was completed in 2016, visitors can once again climb to the top of the lighthouse for stunning views of Aruba's north coastline. Since we didn't have much time at this stop, we just admired the views from the ground level. Next up on this off-road adventure was the Wish Garden. This quick stop afforded some beautiful views of the waves crashing along this rugged coastline and the intricate stacks of rocks. Then it was a jaunt over to our next stop, the Alto Vista Chapel. This small yellow church was built in 1952 and sits on the site of the first Catholic church built in Aruba in 1750. By 10:30 a.m., we made our way to one of the natural bridges, one of the 7 natural bridges on the island of Aruba. After giving us some history about these natural bridges, Uncle Johnny was more than happy to take everyone's photo in front of this iconic attraction. Continuing along our bumpy and dusty adventure around the island, we drove by Shark's Mouth Cove on our way to the next stop, the Gold Mill Ruins. This mill once processed ore during the 19th century gold rush in Aruba. We were given a few minutes to explore the ruins and take photos before heading across the way to the more famous natural bridge. This natural bridge was one of the largest formations until it collapsed in 2005. It spanned between the Gold Mill Ruins and Andy Curie Beach. Despite its collapse, the remains of this mother bridge and the smaller baby bridge are still popular photo spots. We were also treated to a double rainbow-like halo around the sun, which was certainly a sight to behold. On our way back to the company's headquarters for lunch, we made a quick detour to drive by the AO Rock Formation. During our last visit to Aruba, we were able to tour another one of these rock formations. These giant boulders have been carved out over time by nature. If we had one critique of this tour, we would have liked to be able to walk around the site briefly instead of just driving by the landmark. We arrived to the tour office around 12 p.m. Our family was seated at a large table and meals were delivered shortly after that. This gave everyone the opportunity to freshen up a bit as we were all covered in dirt by now. The menu options included pasta, barbecue chicken, or kids' chicken fingers. On a full stomach, we set off on the second half of the island tour. If you are a thrill seeker, get ready. We headed off the beaten path on one of the bumpiest treks down to the natural pools in the national park. I'm so glad that we left the driving to the professionals. Of course, Uncle Johnny may have purposely taken the extra rough path that kept us laughing and bouncing out of our seats the entire way down. The natural pool is known as the hidden pool surrounded by volcanic stone formations. This area is only accessible by 4x4 due to the rugged surrounding terrain. There are also quite a few stairs down to the water. The surf was rather rough during our visit, but the park was still allowing guests to take a dip in this famous landmark. Of course, the princess stayed on dry land while I ventured in to test the waters. Uncle Johnny had timed the trip so that we could get to the Indian Caves, also within the national park, before they closed at 4 p.m. However, things did not go according to plan. Apparently, the Jeep that had been following us was having issues with its brakes, and it would not be safe to continue the journey. So we had to wait about an hour for a replacement Jeep to arrive before we could continue our adventure. Uncle Johnny did his best to hustle to get to the caves. As luck would have it though, we arrived just minutes too late. So after a few photos from the outside, we continued on our tour to the last stop of the day. After all this excitement, we made our way to the southeastern tip of the island for some relaxation on Baby Beach. This shallow lagoon is great for families and it's also a recommended snorkel location. We had slightly more than an hour here to enjoy the beach on our own. This beach has a large restaurant and bar, as well as chairs available to rent. However, everything was closed by the time we arrived. After a full day on this island ultimate safari, our time on the happy island of Aruba was coming to an end. Uncle Johnny rounded up the crew and we set off back towards the cruise terminal, making a few stops along the way to drop off the other guests at hotels and Airbnbs. We arrived back on our ship around 6:30 p.m. It was here that we had to say goodbye to Uncle Johnny and thank him for showing us the island for the day. Of course, he wouldn't let us go without a hug. After all, we were family now. The ABC Tours Aruba Island Ultimate Safari is advertised as a 9.5-hour tour. The cost of the excursion is $108 for adults and $70 for children under 15 years old. The tour price includes pickup service that brings you to the main office and drops you right offside the cruise terminal area. It also includes lunch and ice water on the Jeep, as well as all entrance fees to the locations. The company's website claims it's the most adventurous off-road tour, and that description is pretty accurate. We've done Jeep tours and ATV tours on other Caribbean islands in the past, but nothing as compared to this excursion. It was high energy and full of thrills from start to finish. This is a great option for those who want to explore as much of the island as possible during their short visit without the hassle of driving themselves. Of course, this is a long tour, so all cruisers who have stops of 10 hours plus will be able to participate. ABC Tours Aruba comes highly rated and delivered a professional and well-executed cruise excursion. Our guide, Johnny, was personable, very thorough, and one of the best hosts we've ever had on an excursion. Time spent at each location was well balanced, and it provided an opportunity for photos and exploration of many of Aruba's most popular landmarks and attractions. If you have an upcoming visit to Aruba, we would highly recommend this tour or one of the other tours offered by ABC Tours. And there you have it. That's our exclusive review, ABC Tours Aruba Island Ultimate Safari. But of course, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comment section below your favorite thing to do in Aruba. I'm DB from EatSleepCruise.com, and if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, or you've been watching our videos for a while and just haven't done so, what are you waiting for? Make sure to subscribe down below and to click the notification icon. That way, you get updated each week when we put out brand new cruise and travel videos. You can also say hi to us all over social media at Eat Sleep Cruise, and thanks again for watching.